Hello, everyone. I'm Chris Kapches, president of Chestnut Park Real Estate, and today I'm going to be providing you with the September real estate market report. To say the least, we're in very confusing times as far as the current market is concerned. Sales are down, and they're down fairly dramatically. In the month of September, only 4,642 sales were reported. That's down over 7% compared to the 4,999 that were reported last September. But more startling is the fact that the sales that were achieved in September are historically low. I'm holding here in my hand a copy of a market report going back to the year 2000. And what that report indicates is that in September of 1999, 4,818 properties were reported sold. And in September of 2000, 4,857 properties were reported sold. So we are in kind of unprecedented territory as far as the numbers are concerned. Back in the year 2000, Ontario's population, certainly in southern Ontario, was probably half of what it is now. And here we are producing numbers less than what we produced more than 2 decades ago. So that's an indication of how low the numbers have fallen. And you can see from the chart that they have consistently fallen now for 4 consecutive months. Now, that's what's happening on the sales volume side. Interestingly enough, on the inventory side, we're starting to see, for the first time in a number of months, the number of properties available on the market starting to increase. For example, new listings in the month of September came out at 16,258. That's a 44% increase compared to the number of listings that came out in September of 2022. At the end of the month, we find ourselves with 18,912 available properties for buyers, compared to last year, only 13,529. So an increase, again, of almost 40%. So we have sales volumes going down, but we have inventory levels going up. In that kind of a scenario, you would anticipate that your average sale price would be following your sales volume. But that isn't what's happening. In fact, the opposite is happening. Sales prices are starting to strengthen and hold their position. And you can see from the chart that average sale prices have actually increased, not only year over year. On a year over year basis, last year the average sale price was $1,088,000. This year the average sale price is $1,119,000. So year over year we've increased, but we also increased compared to August. So that creates a very complicated scenario. Your volumes are coming down, your inventory levels are going up, and yet your sales volume or your average sale price is staying relatively strong. So what accounts for that? Well, first of all, we've gone through an incredibly unprecedented period of time. Pandemic, followed by incredible government stimulus, followed by inflation, followed by draconian measures taken by the Bank of Canada, and thrown into all that mix are incredible population levels. For example, in 2022, Canada's population increased by over 1 million people. In September alone, almost 17,000 entry visas were provided for permanent residents by Canada. So we're seeing population levels at a pace that we've never seen before. That huge population growth is impacting the pressure on the market, particularly on the demand side. So it's the demand side that's keeping those prices up. Problem is we're in a haves and have-not kind of environment. The haves, those buyers that do have money, They're getting into the market and they're buying and they're paying for the most part over the asking price. That's why we're seeing in the case of detached properties, all detached properties sold in only 16 days. They sold for 101% of their asking price, and the average price for detached properties in the city of Toronto came in at $1,724,000. Pretty lofty number. Semi-detached properties, they sold even faster in only 11 days, 106% over their asking price, and the average sale price came in at $1,281,000. Again, kind of lofty prices. That didn't happen in the case of condominiums. Why in the case of condominiums? Because unfortunately it's the have-nots that are buying in that market sector. So they're restricted, their financing ability is not that of those that can afford the properties in the detached and semi-detached sectors. So we're seeing that disconnect in the market as well. Desjardins Economics came out with a study, and they indicated in their study that the real estate market could go in one of three ways. The first would be a 1990s restructuring, whereby you had a protracted period of time of declining average sale prices and declining volumes. Average sale prices could go down under that model by almost 30%. The second would be a mild kind of recessionary marketplace where average sale prices would go down approximately by 5 to 6%. And thirdly, a model in which you had incredible demand pressures against limited supply. We're in that third model right now. So it would appear that we're going to continue over, at least until the Bank of Canada changes its position, we're going to see volume staying low, as I pointed out, as low as we've seen in the better part of 2 decades, while average sale prices stay strong and perhaps grow a little bit. That's the scenario that we find ourselves in right now. And early indications in October, as far as the numbers go, appear to sustain that kind of model. So until next month, when we get the October results, please stay well, and I look forward to providing them to you next month. Thank you.